Hi guys, Puddin here with a game for you on my Tier 6 British battleship, the Warspite. As you can see, this is ranked. Now, my captain skills are extra plain, expert marksman, basics of survivability, concealment, and advanced fire training. Now, my modules are protect my main batteries, better dispersion, DAMCOM 1 and DAMCOM 2. Now, this captain does go back and forth between the Warspite and Hood, which is why I opted for advanced fire training. Now, as you can see, this is ranked once again. Now, I believe this is the map straight. I believe this is the only map with 3 caps. I could be mistaken. I'm sure somebody will correct me. But usually the North team does A and B, the South team does C and B. Now, the little island directly in front of me is kind of where I want to position myself because I can kind of hide behind it. It will protect me from torpedoes. I will be able to get shots in on the enemy, and hopefully I will be able to stay concealed. Now, this is a ranked gameplay, and the main job of a battleship is to kind of know when to go in and tank some of the damage, but you're kind of here for your alpha strike. I'm gonna try to get shots on the Bajoni, but he's not exactly offering me the best. I look at the Cleveland, and I'm thinking, maybe if that guy gets in the range. But as you can see the buddy sailing away, I might have popped my spotter a little prematurely. Gonna take a crack at the Cleveland because I really don't have a shot on the DD. I also thought maybe the Leander would be able to deal with the destroyer, but I'm not 100% sure if he does. Now, I would have liked to seen both destroyers go to B, but then again, staying alive as a DD is more beneficial than getting the initial cap. Now, while getting the initial caps usually force teams to have to make the move because ranked is so campy. So if you have 2 caps, you now have the point lead. You're going to force the enemy to have to come to you. The big thing about rank is getting in a good position to where you can hurt the enemy and they can't hurt you. Now you can see our DDs are doing a fairly decent job on keeping things spotted, which is, good for us. If we can see them, they can't see us, we're going to win by default because they just can't hurt us as we lose our first cruiser. Now, if you remember from my Cleveland, I say, the best thing is this is a team effort. It's what's ever best for the team usually will help you win. Was going to take a shot on the battleship, but he keeps disappearing. Get a shot in just as he disappears, just as my guns still maintain some sort of accuracy, and nope, they all land on island. Now, as you can see, the enemy team is getting B. We're down 2 ships. Now, at this point, we're the ones that have to make a move. Now, the reason why I'm still slowly reversing is because I don't believe this Leander smoke is going to last forever. I do believe this guy is kind of covered B from the island to protect him. But, see the DD, I might as well take shots. The sooner we can get rid of this guy, we will actually have an advantage because we'll have 2 destroyers to their 1, and we might be able to sneak on to B to get the cap. Now, just because we're down a ship doesn't mean we need to start pushing, we need to start panicking. There is still plenty of time to get to these caps. Now, if you're paying attention to the mini-map, the enemy Cleveland is coming up the, the 8-9 line. But, none of us were really paying attention for it. Now, this is a stupid move on him. So you can see these guys have the point lead. They're the ones getting the cap. Somebody does call it out. But I was keeping my guns trained on the cap in case somebody gets DD spotted. I am relatively close enough to where I can do some massive damage to him and just take him out. So now we have the DD advantage. But, we're still losing on points. They got their cap before us. We're still the ones that have to make the move. This Cleveland is making an unnecessary move here. It didn't need to be made. He could have actually sat in between the two islands somewhere to kind of deter our destroyers from getting on B. Now, I'm pretty much at full health, and I'm just going to let the two fires burn. Cleveland is relatively close to where his angle won't matter if I just hit him right. As I get a nice citadel. I'm really waiting for the third fire to put these out. The guy's close enough to where his rate of fire will come into play. And as you can see, we get 3 fires. And I need to put that out. If I would have used it on the 2, I definitely would have been burning a minimum of 1 spot. But he could have got another double fire on me. But, the more distance I get between me and him is I'm taking his rate of fire equation out of this because, his shells are just going to take that much longer to travel to me. He's going to have more shells in the air than he's able to put on target. We're just going to ignore the complete miss right there. But as you can see, he's kiting. I'm kind of kiting, but, we're both moving away from each other. Now this is making it easier for me just to do subtle movements, just to get some sort of, misses, minimum hits on him. Now, our Leander is going to be a real big dick coming up here. But as you see, because we had the destroyer advantage, we were able to get the cap. Now, I don't know why the Cleveland was shooting AP. He should have stuck with HE, because AP on the 155s just isn't potent enough to where the HE would have been better suited. Now, we have the lead, we have the ship advantage. There's zero reason for us to push. All we need to do is defend. But of course, you get a lot of people from randoms, and they just don't understand you don't need to push. You don't need 3 caps to win. You only need 2. At least on this map. Now, I really wish I would have held my shot to take out this enemy cruiser, but I am going to try to slow down to get a shot in on him, because you can see I wasn't spotted when I was shooting. Unfortunately, I don't slow down enough, and I'm not sure if it was the island he's behind or the big one in front of me, and unfortunately, it's the big one in front of me. Might as well take a shot on the battleship, because he is on cap, and getting cap resets is important. But this is what I mean by they have to make the move. They are forced into pushing this cap. And all we need to do is maintain a defensive posture and deal with who's ever on cap. I would have loved to shot at the DD, but I know I didn't have a shot on him because of that little hump. And when my guns were trained, ready to shoot, I don't believe he was spotted, which is why I shot at the battleship. I want to make, I was kind of waiting to see if he's going to make the full turn before I shot, but he's not, and he's turning back in. Unfortunately, he turns just enough to where my shells really don't do anything, but I do manage to get a cap reset. Sorry about that. Now, you see we did lose a DD because I do believe he stayed trying to defend when really, he could have just ran away. Now, our poor was in New Mexico was in a very rough spot. But fortunate for me, when I was fighting with the Cleveland, it put me out of position, but not too far out of position to where I couldn't make a difference. Now, this is where the Leander is going to start begging for his life. You know what? It's not my fault you went out to try to deal with the battleship and failed to kill him.
Good luck, everyone.
My thought right now is the only way we're going to win this game is if we can kill the enemy DD. This Leander is not paying attention to the minimap, not paying attention to what's going on. He's just worried about himself right now. While he is important because he has points, keeping our destroyer alive is more important. Killing their destroyer is our number one priority. That is who I'm going to shoot at. I don't want to shoot at anyone else but the DD. Get my secondaries going on him. I'm turning my ship, I'm turning my guns, because I don't know if his torps are reloaded, because I don't know the Anshan's torp reload off the top of my head. I do know he was the one who torped in New Mexico. I do not want to end up like the New Mexico and dead. I've only used one heal. I still have most of my health. And as you can see, the Leander dies. Now, our destroyer makes the right call. Lucky for me, I made the right call by turning away. I missed all of those torps just because I turned away instead of going in there. Now, the Leander's going to be a big dick in chat, and I ignore him for the most part. But as you can see, we are now badly outnumbered. I take a massive hit, and we have no caps. The only way we're going to win this is to kill their destroyer and keep ours alive. That destroyer is just as important as I am, because I can spot things, I can take the damage for him. I don't have any other targets to shoot at but this BB, who's offering me an awful lot of sight. But I know this destroyer can kill the battleships faster than I can. I can make it easier for him to maybe only get one torp by doing a big alpha strike, but his torps can out alpha strike my guns, unless by some miracle I get like 6 citadels. Not going to happen on a German battleship. Now, looking for me, I sail into the smoke, so I get undetected for a second. The smoke didn't last long, but I'm trying to keep my guns to bear on where the DD was. And that's what I mean by the hat can take out battleships faster than I can. It would have taken all of these shells to connect to take him out, as I nailed the destroyer and finished him off. Now, I am not going to be able to obviously outrun or get back to the caps before the destroyer. Now, this is my main target. I need to one-shot this cruiser because, one, we need to keep the game going on, but two, it's going to protect the destroyer. So I land a nice citadel, finish him off, and get us a little bit more time to get these caps and get their last ship. Now, as you can see, I did write in the chat what I think that guy can go do, because I did have kind of some time to type that out. And you know what? If you see there's no other way to call it. If you see a fucking asshole like that, just ignore him. You're better off for it. There's no other way to describe the guy than he's just being an asshole. He thinks his life was more important than the team. Wrong. The team is what matters. Keeping the destroyer and keeping the CD alive is the best option for us to win. Keeping him alive would have been nice, but you know what? The destroyer is the ones who really make and break this game. It's a shame that the destroyers don't get as much experience for spotting as they do. But most people playing ranked are not playing it to level up a ship. The reason I wish they would have got more experience for spotting is for them to potentially save their star instead of using smokes and, going out and getting the damage to protect their one star. If they are on a losing team, I see a lot of destroyers do that once they lose one or two ships, they give up and fight for themselves. That is one of the reasons why I wish they would get rid of the best player on the team keeps the star. What's the difference between what he did and somebody who was 100 or 200 points below him? They both did just as much. That guy just got a little bit more. Now, I put my planes up in hopes of potentially spotting this battleship, but it's probably going to be the destroyer before he sees him, or before my planes spot him. Planes only have an 11-kilometer view range, so I have to be within 11 kilometers of the Arizona for the plane to spot him. And as you can see, I think I'm right on the verge of that, but I do believe it's the hat. Now, this is what I'm saying by the hat can just outright just delete a battleship. He doesn't exactly have the best torp angle on this guy. But if this Arizona was broadside and all of these connected, game over. There would be no, if he kills me, there's still a chance for him to win. But knowing that this guy doesn't have exactly the best torp angle, I get a nice 16,000 salvo. That's going to help his torps potentially just finish this guy. The other thing with me being alive is the Arizona has to pay attention to me. If this guy is going to continue to show me broadside, he's going to be punished, and punished hard, which means he has to angle against me, which means the destroyer is now going to get in a better spot to hit this guy with more torpedoes. Now, I need to keep the Arizona focused on me, but I'm not going to give him a lot of my side just outright delete me. I need to stay alive. I need to take this damage because the destroyer, he's the only one who is really going to save us here. It's not going to be me, because as soon as this guy starts doing this, starts giving me his bow, while I may be able to overmatch him, I'm not going to be doing as much damage as if he's broadside compared to these torpedoes. Now, I am not going to get the kill. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get the Kraken. The DD does get it. But, I hope you guys did learn from this. So now we're just going to check out the post-battle results. 92,000 damage, Confederate high caliber, 4 ships sank, 3 base caps, and with that, number 1 on the team by 1 point. If we were on the losing team, what does the 1 point matter between the destroyer and me? We both worked equally as hard. It's money screen, it's there, it is what it is. 86,000 damage coming from AP out of my main batteries. Just under 2,000 from secondaries, and just under 3,500 from the fires. Now, I hope you guys really did enjoy this replay. I do hope that you saw, something that could potentially help you in your ranked gameplay. Just remember, if you see jerks like our Leander, who I did message about how I was number 1, and then the destroyer and me carried his ass to victory, he never did get back to me. But just ignore them. They're idiots, and they don't know what they're talking about. We do appreciate all the support you guys do give us. We do appreciate all the replays you send in. The email is in the description down below. Please keep sending in your replays. Please remember to compliment good teamwork, good team play. We are quick to report, slow to compliment. Please hit that like and subscribe button, and have yourselves one heck of a great day.